Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of an overview of Mandala. Let's have a quick look at discount packages. Discount packages are quite easily created. Let's say that you want to create a new package. Let's make one up. Let's say 15% off. For repeat guests. We click the plus button to add that to the database. 15% will be the nickname, that's fine. Never expires, or you can put a duration on it, so maybe the package is only valid for 30 days or so, but let's say never expires. And so 15% off, so maybe it's 15% off treatments, but maybe you don't get anything off retail. And how much does it cost to become to qualify for that package? Actually nothing, because it's about repeat guests, and it doesn't have any monetary credit associated with it. But those are the fields that you can set, so it gives you a fair bit of flexibility. % off treatments, % off retail, or a set credit amount which could be spent on anything. So 15% off for repeat guests. And so then when let's say we wanted to assign that package to Mrs. Bookmark, we'd go into the treatment and we'd select 15% off in the package area, and that would automatically reduce the price when we went into the sale. So if we go into the sale, we see the package is 15% off and we've got the discount there already applied. We can go further. I think, well, actually this is a fun little one. I really like this dialogue, and it doesn't really do that much. It's just a phone list, and it's just a really quick and easy way of getting the phone numbers of all your therapists, but I particularly like that. And if you have the SMS module activated, then you can send your therapists an SMS really easily as well. Let's have a look at the guest information screen. Okay, let's choose a guest. You can see we've got guest history here, which is the items they've bought, and the treatments they've had in the past. We've got guest notes if we wanted to write something about that particular guest. We've got some tick boxes. Perhaps if there's certain aspects, certain things that we want to remember about the guest. For example, perhaps Ralph Abraham prefers female therapists, so we tick that button. And it's also possible, if you desire, to enter in treatment notes directly into Mandala, so your therapist, once they finish a treatment, can enter notes here about the treatment, and therapists can have their own login with limited access privileges to make these changes and to view these notes. Okay. So we'll go back to the general. Guests can have memberships. Memberships are basically packages tied to a guest. So, for example, let's have a look at membership. Perhaps the Mother's Day special is a prize that you give out, and perhaps Ralph has won that prize. So you would subscribe Ralph to the membership just by clicking on the Mother's Day special, and you've got the expiry period, which you can adjust yourself, and if it has credit, it will show you how much credit is available and how much has been used, and here we'll actually we'll list the treatments and when they occurred that Ralph has had under this package. And you can see that this particular membership package had specific treatments that are assigned to the package. So you can actually create packages that give specific treatments for free. So perhaps you might create a sea spray package that allows the guest to have 3 free, in inverted commas, sea spray treatments, and Mandala will track all that and let you know when the person has had their last one, and thus is to be billed once again. Okay, therapists can earn commissions on sales. That's automatically tracked. The day notes, it's divided into two areas. This is a permanent notes area where you can put your to-do lists or reminders or whatever, so that will stay the same no matter what date you're looking at. And these are actually the same. This area here is exactly the same as this area here. So if I entered something here, you will see it here and here, and here. Okay, so you're editing the same field. You also get a nice little quick overview of the day. You'll see how many guests, how many bookings, the value of the treatments of the day, how much retail you've sold, total revenue for the day, etc. Nice, quick and easy. And you can also skip between days like that as well. You can see the appointments made on that day, so you can see how much work your therapists have been doing or your receptionists have been doing, if it's been a busy day on the phone or not. And you can see what retail items have been sold on that day as well. So that's just a nice little screen that you can get a good overview of what's been happening today. Okay, so we've looked at day, guests, packages, phone, room. Well, room's where you define where treatment rooms are. It's not that exciting, but there is a secret little, if you right-click on the room button, it will actually allocate all the rooms on the screen for you, removing room clashes, because Mandala detects room clashes. For example, if I wanted to move this treatment down here, room 1 would be clashed, but in actual fact the guest would be double booked as well. And if we have a look down below, it's about to say the guest is double booked, except that the screen that I've got is on the smaller size, and so the text has been truncated. Generally speaking, you do want a larger monitor with Mandala so that you can view the most number of columns at once without having to use the scroll bar, because it's really quite inefficient to have to be scrolling back and forth like that. So that's actually why I say it's not a great idea to apply Mandala to a spa that has more than 10 treatment rooms, because it's tough to get a monitor that will display that's wide enough to display more than 10 columns at once without having to scroll. You really want everything on screen at once, with visible and ready to go. You don't want things lurking off screen that you've forgotten about. So that's why Mandala is best suited to spas with 10 rooms or less, and also spas should have a widescreen monitor or a high resolution monitor. But they're pretty cheap and are also great for all sorts of other things as well. So I think it's kind of a win-win on that particular hardware requirement. The roster. This is where you enter in roster. Roster's great because you can do things like cut and paste and do lots of things really quickly. Let's put Rudolph in for the next week. RDO, and then we can repeat that just by selecting them all. Copy, paste, etc. And you can enter in custom times, 2:35 p.m. to 6 p.m. etc. Add an extra staff member to your roster, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the little number in brackets is how many hours that person is rostered for the duration that you're currently looking at. And you can change the roster period, so you can look at more than 28 days if you want to create a massive roster in one hit. I mean, because you can copy and paste multiple columns at once, so you can really create your rosters very quickly. And you can print as well, and so you can print out your rosters and stick them on your wall, so that you can so your therapists can see when they are working. So that's the rosters, which I really like. One of the things I do, for example, someone calls up, they want to have a treatment on a given day. The first thing I do is I click the people who are rostered on or available that day, and thus create the columns so that I know the areas I can book